little Wall Street action for you.com. Wallstreet.com. Carmageddon. Carmageddon it. Carmageddon it. Carmageddon it. Come on, Steve. Da-na-na-na-na, da-da-da. And when I say Steve, I mean Steven. Carmageddon in the UK. Auto sales plunged 12% in 2 years. I'm going to say it like the movie Elf. Papa Elf sent me. Papa Elf? Yeah, from the North Pole. The North Pole? Let's say it like that. Carmageddon in the UK. Auto sales plunged 12% in 2 years. Diesels and death spiral. Consumers, businesses, fleets cut back. This is getting serious. Sales of new passenger vehicles, as measured by registrations, dropped 5.5% in December from a year earlier in the UK, the second largest auto market in the EU behind Germany. Sales in the full year of 2018 dropped 6.8%, reflecting 12 months of turbulence and the ongoing decline in consumer and business confidence, according to the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders. Again, we got committees, societies, groups, think tanks. Everybody's on the payroll. Everybody's on the payroll, and most of them are getting it off the taxpayer. But maybe not the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders. Maybe they're not. Anyways, but in 2017, sales had already dropped 5.7% from 2016. And over the 2-year period, sales were down by 12%. This chart, which I'm not going to show you, shows the year-over-year change in new vehicle registrations. It's actually not looking too good. Sales fell for all three consumer types or customer types, which is to consumers minus 6.4%, to fleets minus 7.3%, and to businesses minus 6.4%. A lease, or a Smokey would say, brothers is broke these days. A lease counts as a registration because the leasing company buys the vehicle and leases it to the customer, at which point the vehicle is registered. So, we're counting those two is what they're saying. Sales in 2018 fell to 2.367 million new vehicles as measured by registrations. This was the lowest level of sales in 4 stinking years, and below 2014 sales, which I guess were supposed to be pretty good. And diesel sales have, or maybe not pretty good, pretty bad. And diesel sales have collapsed. In 2018, they plunged 29.6% after having already plunged 17.1% in 2017. Since their peak in 2016, 1.29 million. Diesels, maybe I should pronounce that as diesels, sales have dropped 42% to just 750,165. Whoa. I think I do want to show you this chart. This is just like, whoa. UK registrations regarding diesels only. That is not even kind of a healthy looking chart. Diesels. Yeah, party's over. And again, electric car. This is technology that's calling us. I said it before. I said it again. Now, I gave my dad my Nissan Leaf, 2015 model, had like 14,000 miles on the thing. It was a lease turn-in. That was for sale. I picked up for like 10K. 10.5, whatever. Somewhere around 10K. Crazy. Now, you can only go around 84 miles per charge. But I was driving that sucker to work and back, and I asked my boss, this thing barely cost me, can I plug in it here? Or do I need to pay? No, it's fine. Just plug the thing in. All right. So I would drive it to work, plug it in, drive it home, drive it back to work, plug it in, drive it home. There's no problem. I get there and back, and then back and there again, no problem. I'm not exactly work close to my house. It's a good, 25, 30-minute drive, one way. But and that's the 84-mile version. They had one that I think 2016, 2017 did 107 or so miles on a charge, and then the newer ones, like as in brand new ones, they have a upgraded model too, but I think are getting close to, one's getting close, maybe it's 150 miles or something, but they have one that's like right around 200 miles on a charge. But I had one. You You're not stopping at a gas station ever. You are not stopping at a repair shop pretty much ever. Like, oh, you run over something, need a tire fix? Yeah, go there. Oh, that's about it. You're not getting the quote unquote transmission service because there isn't one. You're not getting spark plugs. You're not, oh, my wires. Oh, I got this little smelling the exhaust, smell the exhaust sound, check engine light. You're not going to have any of those problems. It is an electric motor. That motor is the transmission and the motor, the engine, all in one. And again, it's electric. No fuel, no stock, none of that nonsense. You're paying around 12 cents a kilowatt hour, whatever. Like my dad said, Joe, I tested it. He says I went basically 1,000 miles, $28. 1,000 miles, $28. He says I tested it. He loves that car that I gave him, and I'm just glad that I was able to give it to him. Now I got the Tahoe because that electric car ain't going cross country on little trips and things that I tend to go on sometimes. And I knew I'd be doing this, so I'm like, I got to prepare for that. And I said, well, I had the jet skis at the time. I need a Tahoe, something to pull those things. And then, of course, trade those freaking things in for the Polaris because this whole treasure hunt and exploration thing's going on. I wish I would have known that beforehand because I would have never got the jet skis, to be honest with you. But that's life, whatever. And I'm ending this speech with that Tahoe probably gets 15 miles to the gallon. What about on the highway? Yeah, pretty much always. Like, what did your car get? Probably around 90. If you had to actually calculate it, I don't know, 90 miles a gallon or something like that. Whoa. So I do look forward to some of these newer electric vehicles, but again, you got to stop, you got to charge them. But as the technology gets better, like right now, you could take a Tesla, go from very low to almost empty up to 80% charge in I think 20 minutes at one of their supercharged stations, as they call them, which you could also do at your house if you have the correct electrical power there. There's probably going to be a time when they get it, probably here shortly, where it's 10 minutes and then 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen. And then all of a sudden you're driving around, oh, got to make a pit stop, you got to charge the car real quick. All right, 10 minutes later, 80% charged. I can go, 200 miles, let's say, on some of these newer vehicles that normally could do like 250 or 300 miles on a charge, let's say. The new badass Tesla, the Roadster, the new version that actually comes out officially in 2020, the one that is extremely fast, the one I said that if these cryptos went crazy and I was just like, rolling in some money, from holding all these cryptos all this time, whatever, minus some Litecoin at the moment, that I said that would be like my little gift for myself. Like, you know what? I hodled through all this stuff. I waited. I didn't do something, nothing crazy. Although you might say, Joe, your Litecoin move's kind of crazy. But we haven't seen if this dip has happened yet. Call me crazy in another couple weeks or so, okay? It doesn't happen. And that was 1/3 of my portfolio. I still have 2/3, and I could get back in the market. Anyways, that would be my little treat. That car can go, I think, 650 miles on a charge. Incredible. Back to the diesels. Demand fell across all vehicle categories except the dual-purpose category, which is close to SUVs in the U.S. Sales in that category jumped by 9.1% in 2018 to reach a market share of 21.1%. Sales of super minis fell by 2.4%, and sales of lower medium cars plunged by 9.4%. But small vehicles remained the best sellers in the UK. Why is that? Oh, I don't know, because in the UK you're paying, $8 for a freaking liter. Gallon? No, a liter. $7, $8 liter. 2 liters are in a gallon, right? Roughly. 1 liter? How much? Whoa. No wonder. And that, I don't know if that's the price now because gas has come down with Trump in power, but whatever. Some of you UK folks and over there can maybe chime in the comment section just to say, just give it to us Americans in gallons. So whatever the conversion is, say, oh, we're paying this much per gallon right now with yes, gas prices down. That's what I'd like to see. Below are the best sellers in the UK. Note number 1 bestseller in the UK, the Ford Fiesta. It's time for a Fiesta. In the U.S., Fiesta sales surged nearly 12% in 2018, which is quite something given that overall car sales, unlike truck sales, have been plunging for years. But Fiesta sales in the U.S. were tiny, just 51,730 vehicles, in a market that is over 7 times the size of the UK market, and they accounted for only 2.1% of Ford's total U.S. sales. So let's just Ford Fiesta gas mileage. Excuse me, not Ford first. I don't know how the hell that happened. Fiesta. 27 in the city, 37 in the highway. Let's just give you a little glance at what that looks like. This is one of them. That's a little mini Fiesta. Little Fiesta. Okay, so you can see why our fellas and ladies over in the UK, that's the #1 car. Followed by number 2 place is Volkswagen Golf, which is another good gas mileage car. I know that. There was strong growth in sales of battery electric vehicles, or EVs, in other words, fully electric vehicles, in 2018, up 13.8%, and plug-in hybrids at 24.9% increase. But their combined market share was still only around 2.5%, and they just didn't make enough difference, and there was strong growth in sales of gasoline-powered vehicles, 8.7%. This shows that many individuals, fleets, and businesses that were driving an older diesel vehicle replaced it with a vehicle with a different powertrain, but the switch was not enough to make up for the plunge in diesel sales. This brings up a more generic economic problem. It seems consumers and businesses have been backing off replacing their vehicles for over the past 2 years and keeping their existing rides a little bit longer, which is the bane in the auto industry. There are plenty of reasons for the steep decline in the UK auto market. This includes consumer aversion to diesels in Europe generally, and tepid consumer and business demand more broadly in the UK, likely a mix consisting of the uncertainty surrounding Brexit, economic cycles with their ups and downs, and broader disaffection among consumers and businesses for spending money on cars. But the UK is not unique in the world, and blaming the uncertainty around Brexit exclusively will not do. Auto sales in the largest market in the world, China, ran into a buzzsaw in 2018. The second largest market, the US, peaked in 2016, and sales have been tapering off. In Germany, registrations dropped toward the end of 2018, driven by declining commercial sales, and year total registrations edged down just 0.2%. So clearly there is a broader theme. Global demand for new vehicles just isn't what it used to be, and this is another piece of the puzzle. All I'm going to tell you, excuse me, go test drive an electric vehicle. Now, if you happen to go test drive a Tesla, even the ones that aren't like the super fast ones, you'll be shocked at how they accelerate. Even a regular old Tesla will get up and go, son. You're going to be like, whoa, and this thing can go faster, like if we do the ludicrous mod to it, if it's one of the vehicles able to. Yes, that's correct. Sickly fast. But, I mean, is that why we're buying Teslas? I mean, no, that one, yeah, hell yeah, that's why I'm buying it. It's a present to myself for cryptos, getting in early and patting myself on the back, if it happens like that. But in all honesty, I mean, I actually consider like, would it hurt to get another, used electric vehicle to take that thing to work and back? So I don't know, not that I need one. I'm not even really looking, to be honest with you, but I'm just, once you have a taste of it, again, it's like high-speed internet. Are you going back to DSL or like dial-up if you've had a taste of like real high-speed internet? Or on fiber optic cable? Oh, really? Yeah, I think I'll go back to dial-up. Are you kidding me? Once you go electric, now the only downfall is, again, like with the Nissan Leaf, 84 miles and that particular model we had, you can drive around town a little bit and go through 80 miles. Like, there was a couple of close calls I've made, and my wife made a real close call one time. I think she said that it was already like letting her know, like, it's down, and she's like, all the like stuff was shutting off or something. And she got down, made it to home and plugged it in, but she's like, oh my God, that was scary. And she's like, it was charged. I went to here, I went over there, I went back over there, came home, and it was like, whoa. And I get it, but you start to get some of these cars that can do 200 miles or even 100 or more. Again, as a daily driver back and forth, I'm telling you, the cost savings are insane. You're going to have more money in your pocket. It's really ridiculous when you like if I actually compared how much gas am I putting in this damn Tahoe, and that includes me not driving to work Thursdays and Fridays because I work from home on those days, and I'm still like, wow, I mean, it's just feeding this thing gas. And you start to add that, you're like, okay, what would a payment be on a car? If you need to make a payment, and yes, you should still get a used one. Why spend $30,000 on a Leaf when you can spend $10,000 on a one that's a couple, 2, 3 years old? But see what your payment is, and then what your gas usage is now, and then add that into there and say, okay, well, that's payment plus that is what I am at, with a regular car. So take the gas part of it out, and then just calculate, what like 90 miles per gallon is roughly, and that's your new gas bill, technically. So I've been very happy with this. It's the future, and I look forward to that kind of stuff. So take care.